knocking at your door every week. And I saw you on my fortune cookie. What a great gift, like a basket of goodies. But you were cold as an ice sea, and I got a little bit of a brain freeze. I can speak your language, if you just let me in. I don't need a dating app, 'cause I got a candy crush on you. But you broke me like a Kit Kat. Let my heart not found running in the trash. Now I'm scrolling and paroling through your Instagram feed. No, I'm not trolling, but you're all I wanna see. Insanity approaching, man, I'm drinking jealousy like a Coca-Cola. Are we? I'm gonna keep the doctor away, 'cause you're my apple every day. Every day I'm thinking about you, muffin. When I wake up, I'm thinking about you, muffin. You know our love was 10 times sweeter than candy, 10 times sweeter than cake. Thinking about you.
Alright. She's an angel, like a fruitcake. Got a halo and I'm looking like a double take. Stream with me, I'ma be a e-boy. We go my diamonds, hey, I know I'm a bad boy.
I've been looking in a jar full of jelly beans. Fly me to the moon pie up in Tennessee. Maybe I'll find you, yeah, we were meant to be. With the ring pop, I'll get down on one knee. Marry me.
Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka, I'ma be your chocolatier. Oompa Loompa, Doopa-Dee-Doo, you're the one I need, so have no fear. Can I call you mine, be my Valentine, the one of my dreams? Let me kiss you like Yoshis. I'm gonna keep the doctor away, 'cause you're my apple every day. And every day I'm thinking.
What the fudge? Chat, I tried to unmute my audio like 10 times and it would not do it. Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? That was, oh my gosh, the funniest award show ever. Okay, I need to give some background, chat. First of all, I just want to say, guys, I appreciate all the love and support. Yes, I think I probably could have had a clip in every category, but again, it's all in good fun, and I appreciate you guys taking it in good spirits. It's a fun thing. So yes, I do what I didn't know, but I was pretty sure what award I was going to get. And honestly, it's an award that I'm happy to get. So again, it's all in good fun. So thank you for taking it in good spirits. And just obviously, we remember, chat, your perspective can change a lot of things, right? And you can go from being, I know the battleship clip was a great clip, but again, there were hundreds of good clips. So for every clip of ours that wasn't included or wasn't nominated, first off, remember, it's all in good fun. And two, remember that there were hundreds of other people's clips that were also not nominated. Okay? So I'm just saying, keep that in mind, that there were so many good clips, literally nothing to be upset about. Okay? Okay, my guys. All right. I'm just saying, literally, it's all good. It's all in good fun. I understand. I appreciate you guys taking it with good spirits. Okay. Again, it was super fun. It was a blast. Now, let me give you. So, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you guys, oh my gosh, the audio problems at the beginning were so flipping funny in ways you don't understand. Okay, I was watching the stream and we had a big like call, right? Where everybody was in the same call. Okay, and the audio problems at the beginning, here's what happened. Okay, like obviously you saw the audio. Oh my goodness, what's going on? It was crazy. It was terrible. I don't know what happened. I couldn't even watch it. It was so funny. I tried to watch it like on my phone, couldn't watch it. It was so I'm like, okay, well, I'll try and watch it like on literally something else, like on desktop. Again, no matter what happened, it just kept going wrong. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. They ended up getting it fixed at some point or to a passable state. But here's the thing that I got to fill you in on. Here's the really funny thing. We're in the Zoom call, okay? And at one point, do you remember when Slime was looking into the screen and talking and you couldn't hear anything? Do you remember that? Like that entire time you couldn't hear him say anything, right? You guys know what I'm saying about? We literally could hear his entire monologue, and he thought the entire stream could hear him. And it was so funny because he was only talking to the content creators, but none of you guys could hear it. And it was the craziest. It was so good. I wish I had recorded it. He just goes on this crazy monologue, just talking about like a bunch of stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. Every single person in the call was dying. We were dying with laughter. It was so flipping funny. Like Filza was flipping dying. I was flipping dying. Tina was dying. Foolish was dying. Everybody was dying. It was so flipping funny. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And it was just the whole thing. It was the whole situation. And here's the thing, right? Look, the audio problems, guess what? It's one of those things that, guess what? It happens. Literally, it happens. Like you're at some point, especially when you're doing something for the first time, there's always the potential for big issues, big problems. Obviously, it was one of those things where, one, it was really funny, and so I'm kind of glad it happened. But two, that can happen in any situation. So literally, it was just really funny. I just think give a lot of grace to the give a lot of grace for the audio issues, okay? Because it was really funny. Then thankfully everything ended up working. And yeah, I saw they released the little egg figurines. They look very cute. And I am just happy. The award I won most time on the server. They should have called it the No Life Award. I think would have been a better name for it. Honestly. And to the player who has the least amount of life. I mean, genuinely, the amount of time I played on that server. I'm fair, like, chat, there were some categories they just didn't nominate me. I was like, but I was understandable. I was like, yeah, I know. I played the most on the server, so obviously I'm gonna have a lot of time and a lot of clips and a lot of things like that. But it was so funny, and that's the thing. I couldn't ask for a better award than that one, so I'm very happy. So it's not a big deal. I'm just saying. Yeah, in fact, I'm very happy. So look on the bright side, chat. We won the best award we could possibly have won. And honestly, it was all good fun. Thank you, Isbeans, by the way, for the 5 gifted. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the award show experience. It was something else. It was truly funny. Like, I genuinely, I have never laughed so hard than at the beginning. I laughed so flipping hard. You've no idea, chat. I was dying. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. I'm sorry, it was so funny. You think that's all the chaos just reflects TQSMB? It kind of does. The cake bit was really funny. It was great. It was genuinely great. It was an experience. Gosh, it would have been cool to be there in person. Food for thought. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, I appreciate you all taking it in good stride and doing your best to represent the ghosty community in a positive light everywhere you guys go. I appreciate that. Where was I? Okay. I'm loading up chat, the Stanley Parable. And here we go. Are you guys ready? The Barbie. Oh, yeah. Can we talk about that? Why on earth? Why on earth did they use the Barbie clip for that one? Why? Can we have a conversation about that? That's the only thing I was annoyed about. I was like, seriously? Seriously? They used that one out of every clip? They used that clip? I was so frustrated. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Anyway, it is what it is. But again, thank you guys for doing your best and representing the ghosties in a very positive way. And always putting your best foot out there. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's talk about it a little bit more before we move on to the Stanley parable. I don't know, what was your guys' favorite moment? Or slash award or anything. It was nice seeing Misa. It was very nice seeing Misa. I really liked that. I was like, that was really cool. I love the Max video. Oh, rest in peace, Maximus. Charlie Cake was great. It was really funny. My favorite moment was seeing Rat in your background. Yeah, did you guys see? I kept putting Rat in the background. Yeah, that I got so sad during the sad clips bit. Made me really sad. I hated it. It was, oh, I'm so sad now. The Foolish mix-up was really funny. It was a good on-screen this kind of error. And you could tell, chat, that they had it queued up because they were ready to go to Mike. So they, like, flipped to Mike. So they, like... The people, it's funny, that got seen as like an error. Oh, that's not foolish, you know? When in reality, they were doing like a different award or something. It was really funny. There were so many good moments. It was great. It was a good experience. Plus, for like an hour before the show started, there were like 20, 25 CCs. And we're all just in a call, just like chatting. So it was all the content creators from the QSMP were all just sitting there and we were just chatting and stuff like that. It was a great time. It was a good time. The banana clip always has me howling. Oh my gosh, that's that banana clip. Oh my goodness, let's not talk about that. Yeah, some people were not able to talk, which was funny, or Whitey not being able to talk. Oh man, it was a great experience, chat. That was so great. It was so much fun. We watched Tubbo DJ while waiting for the awards. That's awesome. He's got the skills to pay the bills. I'm trying to remember, chat. Who was it who got the biggest fail? Who got the biggest fail again? Sorry, Rat's chewing on a water bottle. Fit! See, that was so funny. Just that one was... Wait, did they have a best build category, chat? Was there a best build category? I feel like there should have been a best build category. I feel like obviously we all know who would have been. Maybe that'll be there next year. You know who would have had the best build? I think we all know who would have had the best build. We all know. It doesn't need to be said. Obviously, the best build was when I filled Tubbo's hole with snow. It's obviously that. That was the best build. Or the giant snowman. Either of those. You know what? Dan TDM's house was also really good too. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? I'd probably give that to Dan TDM actually. Yeah. Yeah, Dan TDM's house, I think it was something else. Dan TDM's house is like you almost can't put it into words to describe it. You know what I mean? uh, ugh. Sorry, chat, but it was a blast. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I am looking forward to. I think I'm looking forward to the next year's award show. It was funny. Did they ever say how much time? They didn't say how much time I played on the server, did they? Like, did they announce it? No? Oh, good. That would have been embarrassing. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. You know what I thought would have been funny, though? I was just sitting there, like, right at that point. Do I know how much time? Yeah, I do know how much time. You know what I thought would have been funny? I'll tell you what I was sitting there thinking would have been really funny. Just because we all kind of knew, I was debating whether they were gonna do this. Have the nominations for most time played on the QSMP, and it just flashes like BadBoyHalo, and then the next nomination, BadBoyHalo, and then the next nomination, BadBoyHalo, and it just goes through, and it's just BadBoyHalo, 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 and then it. Like, it wasn't even... I don't even know how close it was, chat. I just don't know if it could have been close. You know what I mean? Obviously, factoring in average time and things like that, you know? Yeah. It just... Obviously, if you factor in days on the server or something like that, I don't know if that changes it at all. Anyway. Food for thought. Sorry, chat. Just periodically taking time to respond to people. But anyway, it was a blast. I loved it. It was a blast. Let's go. Anyway. Pretend B got sprayed with bug spray, and that's why they donawalled my amazing message. Oh, sorry, chat. I'm searching. Oh, chat. Last night, I spent the entire day trying to figure out how to get the audio on my desktop to go through the translator. I could not figure it out. Literally, I tried for hours, chat. So I give up. I literally give up. But I'm still going to figure out, because if I play future games with more audio, I will. Sorry, I'm reading some messages in the chat. Forgive me. LMAO get perceived. What? Hold on. Sorry, chat. I'm reading some of the memers in the chat. Crab got juked. Okay. Chill, chat. Stop. Stay on topic. You guys are jumping around and I can't figure out what's going on. Anyway, where was I? Okay, everybody chill. Stay on topic. Stop reading chat. No, be appropriate in my chat. Whatever you guys are talking about. What was your favorite award? My favorite award, I think the prank one was kind of funny, but I also liked the language interaction award because it was kind of nice to see like the interactions like with the languages and things like that. Oh my goodness, chatters. Ghosties, stop it. Stay on topic. Here we go. The whole show, I couldn't stop laughing. Yes! Yes, it was great. Nikki got the poorest award. She got being the poorest. I thought they would have a richest award too. But they just had the poorest award. I was like, good gosh. No richest award, but have the poorest award. I feel like, I'm not going to lie, chat. I feel like some of the categories were kind of like, hey, who doesn't have an award that we can give an award to? Like, they were just like, hey, we need to give some awards to people. Make an award. All right, what is this person known for? Oh, yeah, give him that one. I was like, good gosh. Oh, the poorest award. Oh, my gosh. I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. It like a participation trophy. Nah, it was great. It was great. It was great. It was a good meme. And obviously, like, not everybody can win an award. Like, and obviously it's an award show. It's all in good fun. You know what I mean? I don't think even if, anybody had not won an award or anything, I don't think anybody would have cared. You feel me? Like, it's not a big deal. And I think everybody kind of feels that way. So it's all fun. Okay. So today, chat, for those of you who did not keep up with yesterday, okay, the cake bit was really funny too. The whole cake bit was so flipping funny. Been a reward for the most inks roleplay. Oh my gosh. I will say, like, the angst moments, like, and stuff like that were, whew, it was something else. It was interesting, chat. It was interesting. Oh, look at that. Hold on a second. Sorry, just thinking of myself. Okay. Chat, I think the Alberto cake thing was so out of left field. I was not expecting that at all. Like, that had to have been real. There's no way that wasn't real. I feel like there's someone out there named Alberto who's just like, it's like, happy birthday, Alberto! And they, like, pull open the cake and it just says QSMP anniversary, and he's just like, what the fudge? And because remember, if you don't know what the QSMP is, it would just read like gibberish to you, right? It'd just be like, oh, what does this mean, right? He'd be like, what the? So somewhere out there is some dude who's sitting there just like, what the fudge? What is this cake? It doesn't make sense to me. But, and hey, if Alberto is a QSMP fan, he's sitting there going like, oh, yeah, all right. Oh my goodness, if he is a QSMP fan, he probably like freaked out while he was watching the stream. That's so flipping funny. Man, that whole stream made me just hungry for cake, chat. Made me so flipping hungry for cake. Why'd they have to eat cake on stream? Let them eat cake. Yes, let them eat cake. Oh my goodness. All right. I feel like we're going to take this Stanley parable. Freedom is found in buckets. All right, chat. I think we're going to potentially do a little bit more Stanley parable. A little bit more Stanley parable. Okay. And then after we do a little bit more, depending on how far we get into the game, what else happens, we might might hop on the KSMP for a bit, but I think I also might just keep this stream short and sweet and to the point. You feel me? Just not too crazy. You feel me? All right, but just a very relaxing, enjoyable stream. You guys just enjoy the ride. And let's get right into it, chat. Oop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Oh, also no what's the word? Oh yeah, I put in my time yesterday when I was testing something. For a minute there, I was worried that you were taking all this seriously, but you've proven me wrong. We played this yesterday, chat. We're gonna play more of it today. I think you'll like it. Here we go. Of course. I guess I have no... Oh. Heck, for all I know, it could actually be solved right now. This is crazy. Tell you what, let's use another slider to get to the bottom of this. How accurate? I mean... Oh, I put this in a little bit ago. What the fudge? This is... You know what? Technically, this is super inaccurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple ones up. What the fudge? Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. That's crazy. What the fudge? Oh, we're back, by the way. We're playing the Stanley Parable 2. It's pretty interesting, I will say so. This is a limited version of the game. Yeah, I'm just saying you may not know about this one. Yeah. Reboot the game for sliders? Maybe at the end. We might do that. Here we go. Are you ready, chat? I wonder what other
This is
endings.
the story of...
I wonder what other endings we have. Oh, I probably shouldn't have skipped that. This is a story about Stanley. Stanley works in his office. And he does all of the stuff by pushing buttons every day. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. You know what? Let's reboot the game. Let's see what those sliders are. Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Ready? And I can play the beginning for those of you who missed it yesterday. Here we go. There we go. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Yeah, that's fine. Please adjust the slider until the dog and cat are friends. What? Okay. I feel like they're not friends, not friends, not friends. I feel like this is pretty friendly. This is like way more than friends. Yeah, they can't be touching. Right about there. I think this is like pretty good friends. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. What? 5. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Right there looks good. What? Which of the two made-up words is most appealing to you? Akaboinkle or scrumtish? Akaboinkle, scrumtish. What do you think, chat? I'm kind of leaning towards scrumtish. I feel like this one is like Akuboinkle, scrumtish. Scrumtish as kind of like, you know. Please don't adjust the slider. Well, we are a cog in the machine. But the bucket has kind of taught me to do other things. Yeah, okay, we'll put it back. Do you know what time it is right now? No. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? Yes. What time anyway? What the fudge? Help? Yes. What? What the? That's crazy. I know we're supposed to be a cog in the machine, chat. But we found the bucket. The resistance bucket.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This is a story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Stanley worked at a company.
Employee number 427's job was simple.
He
sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
You know what I'm wondering? Nah, I'll leave the narrator.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. Stanley was happy.
Stanley was happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Yes, there is a VOD.
No one had showed up to give him
my last
instructions,
stream.
call a meeting, or even say hi.
What?
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, the bucket, chat.
The embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
All right. We have the bucket
Stanley
again.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Where have we not gone?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
All right.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
You know what? Maybe we'll just hang out here for a little bit.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
This bucket, it just needs some time, chat. The bucket just needs some time in the lounge. Oh, what do you think, bucket? Look. Isn't it wonderful? Bucket? What do you think, bucket? Isn't it wonderful? Oh, maybe we should get a cold drink. Let's see. Be a blue drink, green drink, red drink, purple drink, yellow drink.
And they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Nope. Me and my bucket friend are going for a walk.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, what is this? Oh!
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon,
we're
you'll
missing
collect
one.
the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will
Yes! Cog in
we'll
the
be different people
machine!
by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And
Yeah.
now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Yes! Yes! I need the rest. I need the rest. Where do I go? Huh? Oh. Whee! What? What? Okay. Hello? Hello, just a simple cog in the machine. Looking for some collectible merchandise. Oh.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this
What the
bucket,
fudge?
the less sense anything makes.
What?
The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it
Yes.
up.
Every time
No
I
matter
pick it
how
up.
many times I've done it, it's
Yes.
always the same feeling.
Euphoria of the
And the
bucket.
emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
Yes, the bucket.
There's no explanation for it.
Yes.
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when
either.
this bucket is in my arms. Why
Bucket!
everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Yes. Put it on merchandise.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Yes.
This is my golden ticket.
Yes.
But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back.
Yes.
Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Yes. Give me the bucket.
Camporata.
What the fudge? Bucket. 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 Where are you, Bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
They're coming for you. They're trying to take you away from me.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I'm not gonna let them take you. You're my
And here
bucket.
it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The bucket is never
Stanley
wrong.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, they just want my bucket. We gotta find a way out. We gotta find a way out. Come on.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes, good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Okay.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
They're coming. But I won't let them take you.
In here,
said the bucket.
go
My
into this
precious.
dark room over here.
My precious
Stanley
bucket.
once again obeyed blindly.
Yes. Let's go. Let's go.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
pick up the
Okay.
phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Yes.
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
Yes.
And then, very
My precious
distressingly, he began to
bucket.
believe the bucket could speak to him.
What? What do you mean? It can. It can speak to me. Wait. Hello? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's my bucket? Where's my bucket? My bucket! Where is it? Where is it? Damn it. Oh, hello. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press X to take me to work with you. Okay. Come on.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting
What?
glow of companionship.
What?
It doesn't
No.
literally talk and give you orders.
No.
Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to
No.
him is just in his head.
Bucket! There you are. I was wondering where you went. You know we have so much work to do. There's so many orders to get to. You want to go back home? Okay, let's go.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Bucket. Yay. Oh, you want to go back to work? Okay.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley,
Huh?
can you hear me? Listen to me.
Where are
It's
you?
just a bucket. It
Bucket!
can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
Oh, but
That's
he
it.
does it so well.
It doesn't do anything else.
No, no, don't listen to him, Bucket. Don't listen to him. It's all gonna be okay. We can head back home together.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the Bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful Bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Don't listen to him. You're not stupid. You're not stupid. Press C to ignore anyone in your life except for me? That sounds great, Bucket.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore.
Hello?
From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this
Bucket?
cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket.
Bucket!
Oh. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Yes. Yes, it does. It does. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press P to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
Yeah.
Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Yeah. No, he's very talented, Bucket. He's my Bucket, by the way. Press G to relive the same day with me over and over. I'd love to.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
It's my bucket. It's my bucket. You can't have him.
Oh no. I'm having feelings.
Bucket.
For the bucket. No.
Bucket!
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
What the fudge?
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it
No.
to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
Get away!
I need it. Give it to me now. Give it
No.
or I'll...
No! It's mine! It's my bucket! Hands off! Go back to work, Stanley. Huh? Huh? Where am I? I feel like...
All of his co-workers were gone. What
I feel
could
like
it mean?
I'm missing something.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, hello. Bucket.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Very lucky.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So lucky. Trust the completionist instinct. We only need one more.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Where have we not gone, chat? I don't remember where we haven't gone. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Alright. That's true. We did not go with the bucket downstairs. No. We haven't.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yes. Yes. Bucket. It belongs to me.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
Yes.
Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
What, you have a problem with pressing the number 3? Why would you have a problem with that? It's just a number.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him?
Why don't you like
Stanley
it?
had had enough of the number 3. He got back in the elevator.
Answer me! Why don't you like it? It's the number 3. I thought we had a connection here. I see. You know what? That's fine. Everybody's different. It's okay. You don't have to like the number 3, I guess.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something.
Said something.
Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Yeah. You didn't get any joy from it. Maybe we should go try one more time.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
You're really gonna remain silent? I'm trying to share something that I care about with you. Come on.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He
Look.
ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing.
Nothing?
The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all. Only silence.
You don't
Crushed
care!
by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
I see! You don't care! Oh, so it's always your passions! It's always what you want! What about what I want? What about me? Okay? This number is important to me! Do you just not care? Do you just not care? What is our relationship meant if this means nothing to you? Answer me! Day in and day out I've worked tirelessly. A cog in the machine. The perpetual grain of rice in the grindstone of life. The windmill turned. It turned and it crushed me. It crushed me one button at a time. And the one time I find happiness, the one time I find meaning, and I think we can share it together. You spit in my face with your cold, metal, buckety exterior. You spit in my face. It's like you've never cared about me at all. Admit it. What? Do you want a different number? What, you want the number 2? What even is the number 2 compared to the number 3? Say something! Say something! You can't do it, can you? You can't bring yourself to say even one thing. You're just gonna sit there in silence. All this time we've been together. I thought I could fix you. But it turns out you've just been cold and empty the entire time. Fine. We'll head downstairs.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
There must be. Maybe. There must be.
Maybe. Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley.
A press conference.
And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Yes, that's it. That's what I'll do.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further.
Are you ready?
When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
I'm going to show you the glories of pressing the button number 3. Are you ready?
One last chance to win the bucket over.
Here we go.
One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
I'm ready.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding.
I knew it!
The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. there would be no more
number
games,
3.
no more long conversations about
A
passion and
presentation.
pursuit, only a silence
By
that
Stanley.
consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Woe is me. Huh. Oh. Where is everyone?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Just a cog in the machine.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
This is where I belong. I belong here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
Just
no
an
reason to
empty
still
broom
be here.
closet. Broom closet understands me. This is where I belong.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
The broom closet. I can fix him. I belong here.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
Yes.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I belong here. This is my home.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
It's beautiful.
I never would have thought to mention it.
I love this broom closet. The broom closet never says anything back to me.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
It's my favorite. Did you get the broom closet ending? The broom
Stanley
closet
was fat
ending
and
was
ugly and
my
really
favorite.
stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That
What
or
the
the drug money.
fudge?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What the fudge?
Well, I've come
the
to a very
narrator?
definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
I'm dead.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system
my
and you
gosh.
collapsed on the keyboard. Well,
Yes.
in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
Good gosh.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological
Oh my
vulnerabilities.
gosh.
It's indicative
They're
of the
dead.
long-term sustainability of your species. Please
Is-
remove their corpse from the area
Is that what
and
happened?
instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
Am I not
All right.
able
When you've
to
done that,
live
just step
without
out into the
bucket?
hallway.
Is that it? I'm not able to advance in life without the bucket? Is that what this means? Is there any more to this chat? Should I keep waiting, or was that it? That was it.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you too. Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So close.
That his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 8, 4, 5. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
All right.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yes.
The door behind him was not
Can't
shut.
live in the world without
Stanley
the
still had
bucket.
every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. A life without the bucket is a life not worth living. Smush me.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
Life without a
Perhaps his
bucket or
death
a
was of no
broom
great
closet.
loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Goodbye. Take me away.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Whee.
and yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Office layout. Oh, the 2 doors. But my bucket, where is it? Bucket. 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 Button sounds. A selection of sounds used throughout the game. Oh, credits. Ooh. Ultra Deluxe announcements. In December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of the Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. These screenshots are the videos we made for the announcement and the game's delay. Good gosh, it took them 3 extra years to release the game. The lounge. It's crazy. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending? Wait, what? I gotta go do that. Cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided that we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Okay. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Oh. Wait, it said pre-vet? Yes. Previous version of the choice leading the apartment ending. Ah. Previous. One option? Oh. Maintenance. 2 doors. Disobey. Huh. Okay. Confusion ending. I think I got that. Obey, staircase, disobey. Obey, staircase. Disobey, lounge, maintenance. What? Okay. This is kind of neat. Zending levers. Okay. Trailers. Oh. This is crazy. Wait a minute. Didn't I come in here? Screens from the development of the boss's office. Okay. Wait, what? Where am I? Something is
Nothing there. Shoot. Well, try the other one then.
narration outtakes.
Elevator for sure will get him right back on. And finally, Stanley walked over the bridge. Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. How about text? They're throwing a surprise party. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. I don't know. Well, in that case, I'll tell you what. You win. Congratulations. You did it. I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Alright.
What do we do now?
Here, give me a second, chat. I'll be right back.
Stanley,
I'm gonna get a cup
where are
of
you
coffee.
right now?
Help stay awake.
Where am I?
Stanley pushed the numbers.
I'm trying to figure out, but I can't. Stanley,
Hold on.
who am I? Can you speak to me? Please talk. Have we done this before? Have we been in this room before? How many times have we done this? How many times have I said these exact words? Say something. Anything. Help me, Stanley. I don't know who I... What I... Stan, help. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. And finally, he pushed the number 9. Stanley pushed the big red button. Stanley pushed the orange lever. Oh, for crying... Is this that other building? Stanley stood on the roof. Stanley stood on the snow. Stanley stood on the snow. And finally, he pushed the number 9. Nothing there? Shoot. Well, try the other one then. Stanley pushed the orange lever. Then he pushed the number 8. And finally, he pushed the number 6. Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. Stanley walked over the bridge. Then he pushed the number 4. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever through the green door. Stanley pushed the big red button. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever. Then he pushed the number 8. Nothing there? Shoot. Well, try the other one then. And finally, he pushed the number 6. Stanley pushed the big red button. Stanley pushed the number 6. Stanley pushed the orange lever. Now then, this elevator for sure would get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be. Stanley walked over the bridge. And finally, he pushed the number 9. Stanley stood on the snow. Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible? Then he pushed the number 4. Oh, for crying... Is this that other building? And finally, he pushed the number 6. Stanley stood on the roof. Stanley stood on the snow. And finally, he pushed the number 9. Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you? Stanley walked over the bridge.
There's nothing in the room. There's nothing in the room.
Nothing there? Shoot. Well, try the other one then.
Back. Sorry, chat. All right. Hello. 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 Anyone there? Anyone there? Anyone there? Cucurucho! Oh. Oh. Anybody? 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 Hello! Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action came, would become sentient, and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intention. Okay. Hello? Hello? Cucurucho! Are you here? Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use of them. Here is a selection of these emails. What do the lights at the control room do? I really want to know. Montgomery Jones. I am Anthony Elias, business broker. Please partner with me in a very rewarding business venture. Details will be sent to you if you're interested. Hi, Mr. Narrator Guy. I have a question for you, sir. And it is, what is your message today? There's a skeleton inside of you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. Thanks and goodbye, Civ. Huh. Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? I don't what? Why? How? Will the game feature capybaras? What the fudge, chat? How do you stay in shape, dear narrator? Sincerely, Michael the Rock Martin. Foolish must have sent that last one. Wait, I missed on. Are you gay? Subject gay. From Dink Dunk. I appreciate the previous Stanley game. As a work of art, I stand alone and a standalone title. I appreciate the credit given. Will the Stanley Parable have infinite quests? How many endings? Is it really gonna let me go shopping? How do you make a JRPG? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between a duck? Alright. How is the game going? I hope it's good or better than the first one. From a cool man. Are you a rock? Yes. How'd you know? Could you tell me what the significance of the number 11128000 is? Well, the thing I want to know is what would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? I have burning questions. For instance, do you scale a Max Ernst to Salvador on a scale? Ugh. Congratulations! In line with our previous announcement regarding the ongoing promotion, here's the result of the attached file. Greetings, omnipotent voice. I wanted to tell you I like the Stanley Parable as much as I like seeing a humorlessly small badger in swim trunks. Alright. Gosh, a bunch of these are just scam emails. Dear Strong Bad. How do you type with boxing gloves on? It's very difficult, but I'm able to do it. What do the lights in the control room do? Oh, we're back around. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in March 2011, and the second November 2011, the second March 2012, and the third in February 2013. Good gosh, that's crazy. This game took so long to make. That's so interesting. Pretty reasonable. Okay. A little more straightforward, kind of chaotic. I like. Okay. This game was originally made in Gary's mod. That's kind of interesting. Hello? I have no idea how to get out.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I want to be free. Ruris, what the fudge? Do I flip it? I will.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Yes.
No,
I can't.
perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
I need.
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Squish. Huh? Oh. Where am I? Oh. Bucket.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It's such a shiny bucket.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Bucket.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What? I'm here again.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
No.
We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
No, I won't do anything. Take me away. Take me away. Get me out of here.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
What? No.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
No.
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No! I won't let you do it!
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Spell it out for me, I dare you.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Should I do a chat?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows.
That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not.
Where am I?
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Yes. You were. Oh. Interesting. Hello? 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 Anybody there? Hello? Hello?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Hello? I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like there's something in my life is incomplete. I don't know what it is.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I entered the door on my... No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No. No.
Standing now
I won't
in this
admire
incredible
anything.
room, Stanley, for the first,
No.
but eager to get back to business,
No.
Stanley took the
No.
first open door on his left.
No, I won't do it.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
Yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
No.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Can't be.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Yes.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Yes.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh.
A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Hello. I kind of want to go through these doors now.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh. Oh.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Yes!
Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
It's so annoying. Good gosh. It's like trying to keep Riches from getting himself killed. Oh my gosh. Curious how close we can get it.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. Oh.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
This actually looks kind of nice. I wonder what game this is. Firewatch. We should check this out.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Bang, look at those textures.
I think this will be just the thing.
Hey!
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here?
It's Rocket League.
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley,
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
Oh, what fun.
We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Balls! Look, we have so many balls! Let's go!
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Okay. Boundaries? 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 Wonder if there's a way out.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Whee!
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Hello? Hello? We're not in the back rooms, are we? Hello? Hello? Oh. The original Half-Life 2 mod. That's interesting. Hello? Hello?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think I already took the bucket there at one point.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. Giddy but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I think I remember when I played.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
Carl play this. I think
I'm
it
not
did
your
go to
enemy,
Minecraft.
really, I'm not. I realize
Like
that
our
investing
mind
your
was
trust
blown
in
or
someone
whatever
else can be
fudge.
difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
Yes!
Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing
did
something just for the sake of doing it. Where
We
so many people expect to be
did
rewarded for
it!
the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Yes.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Wait, really? Is that it? Wait. Really? Oh. Okay.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I guess. I have no choice.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
Yeah.
I actually feel happy.
Yeah. It's so nice. I think I finally feel home. 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 So peaceful. so calm and peaceful. Pack Mike. Whoa, whoa, Pack Mike. So calm. Here we are. So nice. So very nice. Wait. But what? Is this it? Is this all there is? Oh, but it's so nice. Me. So cozy. I feel at peace. I feel at peace.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Wow. Wow. Whoa.
Right. Where were we?
Wow. So soothing. Huh? Huh? Ah!
Oh no! Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Yes. I must.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I must. I must. I must? No. Bucket! No!
Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Trigger warning, chat.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
Oh, this is depressing.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
Trigger warning, chat.
You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Sorry. My ankles!
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it.
Oh my
I don't know
goodness.
anymore. I just wanted us to get along.
Bucket!
But I guess that was too much to ask.
Where is
It
my
looks like you
bucket?
wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I want the bucket! Whee! Bucket!
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Oh my gosh. You sound so depressing, but I need my bucket. Bucket! Like it?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
That's crazy. What?
Here's where it all began. The first collectible.
What?
Back then we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Huh.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6.
What?
But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of
How do we have
mundane,
8?
unremarkable ways.
Okay.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember? No. Under the stairs was the 4th place you found a Figanley, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
I want more Stanlerines.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Okay. That's Bomb's room. Bomb.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What? What? Oh, this is crazy. Windows Movie Maker. Oh my gosh. Found it! I gotta go left! What do you think about it? There we go.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. That was pretty good for 8 minutes, to be honest. Like, really think about dedicating just 8 minutes. Like, oh.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
You are
And then
in the present.
there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
What?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
What? Okay. This is trippy, chat.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Okay.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
What? Okay.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Yeah.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Over here? Hello?
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Okay. Oh. Can't jump. Where's the bucket? Bucket! Where are you?
Oh, yes. The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Bucket!
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
No way.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. Yeah. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Am I just a figment in your imagination? Guess I am.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace. Protective, yet delicate. Assertive, yet compassionate.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Not real.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Hello? 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 Hi.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Yeah.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Yeah.
It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
No.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
No.
2845.
No. I won't do it.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay. Hmm. Trying to see what I'm missing. Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
No.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
All right. I think I've been here. All right. There's a window ending I want to do.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space, he felt safe. Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
I can't remember how to do it. But apparently, I vaguely remember doing this with Carl. Is it here?
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein.
What?
Of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What
like
are you
looking into a
talking
mirror.
about? He screamed. You're a bucket!
You're a
To
bucket!
this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback
What?
for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is
stupid! You are a bucket!
This is so stupid!
This is
Why
so
are we even
stupid.
doing this?
Why are we even
As
doing
Stanley
this?
screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Oh.
My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket.
did
Thank
it.
God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations
I
to
did
summon
it.
their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power.
And
I'm
what?
Speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come,
did it.
let's restart the game, and
What?
we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic
What the
cast away inside of it.
What the fudge? That's crazy. That was crazy. What the actual fudge? What the fudge? That's crazy. That was crazy. Oh my gosh.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself.
think I can
That's all
fix
I
him.
need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, no, surely not. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the
Dang
meeting
it.
room. But Stanley
Went the
had
wrong
felt
way.
the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Alright.
How wonderful.
I can't
Stanley
get
was
out.
Alone. Finally.
Hello?
This is great. As Stanley lifted
I'm
his
just
bucket,
trying to
he
get
felt a
out.
connection to all buckets everywhere.
I feel a
This
connection.
adventure, he decided, was for all of them. Stanley
Yes.
clutched the bucket tightly to his
Please.
chest and entered the door. on
Someone
his
let me
left.
out. I just want to get out, please. Anyone?
Still no one was here.
Anyone there?
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay. There's apparently something I do here. I'm not sure how to do it. How do I do it? I have to like not go in here. Anyone know how? Leave the door before it closes.
Stepping in.
Let's go. Hello. Hello? 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 Anybody here? Narrator. Narrator. It's kind of quiet. Narrator. Narrator, you left all the doors open. Oh. You are now leaving. Escape pod bay. Oh. No way! We're gonna get out! We're gonna get out, little bucket. Come on! Yes. Finally. After what's felt like so long. We're finally getting out. It's been years, I think. Yes. Years since we've wandered these halls, but finally this is it. Wait, how many floors are there? It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Something, 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 still sorry. Okay, wait a minute. How tall is this building? Okay, why is the elevator not working? Yay! Yay! We're gonna escape! Finally, I've been working so hard, and we're finally gonna be free! Oh, thank goodness! Let me out! Hello? This is it. Yes. You first, little bucket. Wait. Wait. What? What the fudge? You want to go without me? You want to go without me? You son of a gun! You're gonna leave me here? You son of a gun! You scum! You're a scum! You're the worst bucket ever! You're literally leaving me behind! No!
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Yes.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Drink it all in.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
I love it. I love it.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
To the window! To the window!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Yes.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes! Yes!
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Okay.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons.
Buttons?
He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way. But his brain had long ceased to function.
It's true.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible.
It's quite terrible.
And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Quite unbearable. Charmed. Charmed to meet you. Oh my goodness. Indubitably charmed. There once was a man named Stanley. Stanley. Oh my gosh. Don't even. No. Don't even. Like, seriously, do not. Whee! Buttons. I need to find the buttons. Does it just repeat? Oh. Yeah, it is die. Ah. Ah. No, I won't let it end here.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would... What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out.
I'll not deal with this anymore.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
It did. It did talk to me.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here.
Okay.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly. Now pick up the phone.
No.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker?
Yes.
Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look. What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Okay.
To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half,
I swear,
pausing only
I
for
am
bathroom
human.
breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded,
Human.
it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm
Let's
Dunny
practice screaming,
with the funny.
"I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny with the
Good.
funny.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
I
Finally,
see.
it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very
Fight the
likely die in a
invaders.
hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause,
Yes.
just as our children must do after us, and their children after them.
Yes.
Godspeed, and may
Continue
Earth
the
reign
war cycle.
supreme.
Yes. What's
Hey,
the actual
goodness, this
pledge?
video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that
beats
in
of
mind,
war.
I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay. Let's go back.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
Thank you for the 38 months, Silver Doves. Holy muffin, 38 months. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the 15 months, Miss Suti. Is all. Thank you, everybody. Sorry, I just realized I missed a couple people. Dex L. Dot, thank you for the 12 months. Hi, everyone. Looking for more games to play. Would you consider Ace Attorney? I might check that out. That sounds interesting. Thank you, Just Clown Biz. Thank you, Pot Lucky Gentleman. Hey, 8 months. I love your storytelling and RP so much. I love how you give out small details and tie them together in interesting ways. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Bad. Hope you have a nice day today. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki Rose 87 for the 8 months. Thank you, One La Andrea for the resub for 7 months. Hello. Thank you, guys. Is Beans, thank you for the 5 subs. I didn't necessarily get everybody, but thank you again for everybody. Minsudi, thank you. Saliena 12, thank you for the 17 months. Hi. And Heki, thank you for the 7. Hi. Thank you very much. Danile 12, thank you. I'm Dunny with the funny.
Sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke.
Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Ah, thank you, a silent traveler. Thank you for the 10. Woohoo!
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
I'm not sure what to do.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is.
It's just
That's
a
what
gag
will make
chat.
me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
What? I'm Johnny with the funny? Okay. Well...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That's odd. Hold on, chat.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Nothing is happening. Okay. I think I'm doing this wrong. Oh! They turn off all the computers.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Is that all of them? Now what do I do once I turn them all off like that?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I don't think you did the ending where you press off. And no
When
bucket.
Stanley came to a set of two
Did I
open
not,
doors,
chat?
he
I
entered
think
the
I
door
did.
on his left.
Did I do the ending where I... What ending am I missing with the bucket?
Yet there was not a single person here
I
either.
haven't done off.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to
Alright,
his
we'll do that
boss's
next.
office. Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yay! So now what do I do for this one, chat? I restart one more time. Correct?
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
I do one more, right? Two more.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Back. Oh. What happens if I push them all? Wait a minute. can focus your eyes. It's really cool. It is, actually. Buttons. Buttons. Let's go. All right. I think we got one more ending.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought. Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this
Where do I take
is
it,
a
chat?
bucket. And indeed it was.
Trying to remember. I think it's the boss's office and then the no ending.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Get rid of the bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Wait, yeah, I did do the off one with the bucket. I didn't do it without the bucket. That's true, you're right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, here we go. We're gonna
When
do it.
Stanley came to a
sans
set
bucket.
of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Why did we use all our jumps in the jump circle? Chat?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Whee! Yes. Yes. To the squishing machine. Squish me! Squish me, squishing machine. We will be free from our bucket.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yes.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Button. I just want a button.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Never.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
Yes!
Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
We did it, chat!
Freedom was mere moments away.
Freedom!
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
But he didn't
Where
care.
had his co-workers gone?
He didn't care.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Yes.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
But he didn't
But
care.
as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
None of it matters.
For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Freedom!
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
That's all I wish. I wish I'd been able.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin,
But I know
the
he's
feeling
free
of
out
liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yeah.
And Stanley was happy.
Yeah. I am happy. Oh no! I'm suffering again. Alright, guys. I think we've basically done a lot of the content. I think there's probably some little bits here and there that we have missed, but honestly, that was pretty fun. And I feel a little tired. Don't know if I can keep going, chat. I don't know if I can keep going. Oh, I don't know if I can keep going, chat. But alas, we have some fun stuff for tomorrow planned, so I think you will enjoy it. So I will see you then. All right. Anyway, thank you everybody for hanging out. I had a lot of fun. And I hope you did too. I'm gonna raid a friend of mine who is doing a live stream. Raid with us, yeah. All right, everybody. Well, that's the way the muffin crumbles. Anyway, chat, again, thank you for hanging out. I hope you guys had a good day. That was fun. This is a good day. I'm gonna get some rest to rest up both my voice, my mental acuity. I don't know what word I'm looking for there, but you know what I mean. We're gonna rest it all up. Yeah. Anyway, I had fun. I hope you did too. I think tomorrow, oh my gosh, I keep giving me a headache. I keep giving myself a headache. I need to stop like snapping my head to the side. I do it to like check. I'm like giving myself whiplash. I look over really quick. Like I swear it's like I'm doing it on purpose. I swear it feels that way. I probably have like just perpetual concussion from doing it. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where you literally like you look at one of your monitors really quick and your head just goes and like you're like, oh fudge. Oh, why did I do that? That's what I'm telling myself. Like, why are your bones made of glass? Anyway, I don't know. In the morning, I break my legs. And in the afternoon, I break my arms. Good night, everybody. I'll see ya. Goodbye. Goodbye.